Hi everyone, it's Dawn. Well, I'm back in my house. No, I'm not allowed to travel yet, but it's been 10 days since I tested positive. I'm going to take another home test, but I'm going to wait another few days before I take one. But a lot of people were asking me, what happens if you keep testing positive? So, if you test positive for COVID, you can actually test positive for like 3 months afterwards. And so, in order to travel on a cruise ship or back to the United States, say if I was in Europe or in Canada, I would need to test negative. All right. Well, if I keep, even though I'm not, I've already had it and it's residual. It's leftover COVID testing in your system. So how do you travel? Well, you need to get what's called a document of recovery or documentation of recovery. And that's going to require two things, okay? One thing is your actual positive test from whoever gave you the test. Whether it was an at-home test, on a cruise ship, in a pharmacy, whatever it is, the actual test that shows the date. And then you have to wait 11 days after that date. You then send a picture of that document into a document of recovery. There's one in Canada, there's one in the United States, there's one in the EU. There's one, you just Google it, document of COVID recovery. Some places will come up. It ranges anywhere from $49 to $89 from what I could see from all the different areas. And you fill out the forms, you fill out the information, you send them the picture for verification. Somebody will look over it, double check that you're past the 11 days or the 10-day period, and then you're sending it on the 11th day. And within 2 business or 3 business days, you will get a document of recovery signed by an official. And that is good now. So you can use that to get on a cruise in the future. Now, it's not 100, it's only good for 3 months. It's only good for 90 days. So for now, if I was sailing in December, I couldn't use this in December. I could only use it for the first 90 days. Because after that, you should not test positive anymore. And if you do, you probably re-caught COVID. Pretty fun though, right? Yeah, I've been vaccinated 3 times and I was about to go for my 4th dose. They just cleared it here for me to go for my 4th dose, but then I caught COVID and now they say I should wait 6 months to go for another booster. So there you go. I have my own built up immunity now. And away you go. So you go to the cruise line and you show them this document. Now they can pull you aside and still do an assessment. So if you have a runny nose and are sniffling and coughing, they still may deny you boarding. So for instance, my case, I'm flying again in less than 5 weeks. I'm heading to Rome. I'm going on a Greek cruise in the Mediterranean, and I fall within the 90 days of being able to have this document. So I'm going to have that document with me. I'm going to fill out the forms this weekend, get it all done, get it sent to me. I'll have it as a backup. But I'm still going to test myself in the proper timeline to get on the ship. And if I test negative, that's so much easier than going with this documentation and paperwork and saying, look, I had it, but I still test positive, but I have this piece of paper that says, please let me on the ship anyway. It's so much easier. No, negative test, here you go. Here's my vaccination. On you go. On you go to the cruise. Enjoy your cruise. Don't worry about it anymore. And even if you test positive on the cruise ship, you say, sorry, you know what? It's not real. I don't think that's really a positive test. Here's my documentation of recovery. They may not, you may get away with not quarantine or anything like that after that. But my recommendation is, even if you have that documentation, take the test. For the sake of $40, $50 to take a test, it's so much easier to get on the ship than trying to stand in line, being set aside, going through all the hassle of going through other people and for them to clear you to get on the cruise ship. It's still a gamble, because then they can turn you away. And you don't want that. You want to get on your cruise and just enjoy your cruise. And so, yeah, less than 5 weeks for my next cruise. I'll have all the documentation. Let's see if I'm still testing positive. But I'm going to test my positive. The next video, I'll take another test. That'll be 12 days. So let's see if a friend of mine who was on the cruise with me, a new friend, she tested positive the day after I did. And she tested negative the day I flew home, and I was still testing positive. So it just goes to show you. And her symptoms were way worse than mine. I had the sniffles, she had the fever, she had a cough, she had tiredness, she had a bunch of stuff. I had nothing. I had the sniffles. Go figure. It's a strange, strange disease that we're living with, I guess. But that's what I'm going to do. I'll let you know in a couple days if I test negative or if I'm still testing positive, even after almost 2 full weeks.